the Vacuuminator.
I'm Buster.
And this week in Toku, we're going to be discussing Decker's final form, Toei fucking up again, and Pulsecon. But before all that, Buster, how you doing?
This week was ass, but today was also ass, but it's getting better.
Nice.
Yeah.
How's that ass taste? That good?
Terrible. It's not good. Sorry to report.
This just in, everyone. Buster Corp does not eat ass.
Only when it's good. This one wasn't. God. How was your day? How was your weekday, Mr. Vacuuminator?
It's been rough. I've been doing some hard decision-making stuff. If you don't already know, I'm in need of a new computer, and I had to post a massive sales spread. There are no Tokusatsu toys in there, but there's lots of other stuff like Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe Classified Series, various different Transformers lines. So if you're interested in giving that a look, you can find it on my Twitter at the Vacuuminator.
I'll try to link the specific thread, and because I'm uploading the show now, I'll try to link the specific thread.
I would appreciate that. I'm not trying to be super shilly about it, because at the end of the day, whatever doesn't sell by Friday is going to be going to my local vintage toy shop, because they tend to offer a pretty good deal if you bring in a big lot of stuff. But it's just one of those tough things to do, and I already talked about it a lot on components, so I'm not going to go super hard into that. But that was the majority of my weekend, was getting all that done. And then today was actually kind of a rough day of work. I've had way worse, but it was a bad day by this job standards. I'll say that.
Yeah.
So I'm mostly just kind of running on that the weekend news was cool, I'm excited to talk about it energy. But before we start doing that, everybody please support the show if you can. Give us a like, comment down below with some of your thoughts on stuff that happened this week in Toku. Subscribe to the Modular Media YouTube channel and ring that bell in order to enable notifications and get every episode of This Week in Toku and the other two podcasts we do. Modular Components are just kind of hang out and shoot the shit show, and No Prize Podcast, where we talk about the MCU and general comic book happenings from the week, delivered to your sub box as soon as they come out. And if you want to keep up with news and updates about other stuff we're doing, be sure to follow us on Twitter at the Modular Media and join the subreddit r/Modular Media. But that's all the plugging I got to do for this week. So let's go ahead and get into the news. Our top story for this week, we finally have official images of Ultraman Decker Dynamic Type, Decker's final form. If you don't remember, this leaked in a kinda pixelated image a few weeks ago, but Tsuburaya has now officially unveiled it, because it's probably going to be debuting in the next few episodes. And I love this thing. I think this is a great form.
Yeah, we already talked about how great it was, when they got leaked. But yeah, basically, it is probably one of the best Ultraman final forms we've had.
It just has such brilliant color balance, and I love that it's not a massive change. Fucking Trigger's final form looked like it was trying to be way too flashy, and while I do like Zet, Delta Rise Claw doesn't look like any of Zet's other forms, and it kind of bothers me sometimes. I like it on its own, but it doesn't work with the other forms. This looks like an evolution of Decker's forms, because it has a lot of base Ultraman design elements, but there's a stronger color balance than with the other forms. It's symmetrical, unlike the other forms, and it has a little bit of extra ornamentation that's not too flashy. It's just the right amount of we're stepping it up a notch.
Yeah. Good form, good.
Yeah, and of course, there's also a final form weapon that looks like a shield that becomes a throwing star, I think. I'm not sure what exactly.
Dual sword thing, like Darth Maul's, but not Darth Maul's.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. It looks neat. It might be a fun toy. It might be the first Decker. I keep saying Trigger tonight. It might be the first Decker toy I'm legitimately interested in picking up if it has cool sounds. So we'll see. But that's all the Ultraman news for this week. We're going to go ahead and move into Kamen Rider. And first and foremost, there's new Hibiki merch. like I want to say 5 years after SH Figuarts Hibiki finally came out, SHF Upgrade, which if you're not aware, it's basically a third-party company that makes stuff Bandai themselves haven't done that probably should be part of the base figure. They're making Hibiki's bike, the Gaika. So this is not an official thing. You're going to have to go through a site like Toku Lector to get it. But if you're one of those people that just really wants a display of all the main riders on their bikes together, this is kind of a must-have, because I don't know if Bandai's ever going to make this thing.
All right, I'm gonna bitch.
Okay.
I don't think Hibiki, like, if we're gonna make a Hibiki display, the bike is, like, the last thing I would want. I get this is an upgrade, like, sect of, like, upgrade company. They kind of specialize in, like, bikes and vehicles. But I don't like the idea of giving Hibiki a bike. Well, one, it's like, remember someone said, like, one of the producers says, well, we didn't want to give Hibiki a bike because it makes too much noise, and Hibiki is about harmonious rhythm, not, like, loud rhythm, you know? And also, just... the bike really felt like an afterthought in, like, the best parts of the show, even. So I'm like, I don't know. I'd rather, like...
I haven't seen Hibiki or researched it at all, but, like, I can very easily imagine that being, like, a producer's note of, it's called Kamen Rider. There has to be a bike.
That's very much a sentiment that goes through Hibiki as a whole. I will say. Speaking of riders...
very good news for me that I unfortunately missed last week, but the English dub of Kamen Rider Wizard has been found in its entirety. For those of you who are not aware, is it in Thailand or Malaysia? I always forget.
Malaysia.
Okay, in Malaysia, Toei does actually make official English dubs of at least every Heisei season of Kamen Rider and distribute it that way, because Malaysia is a very heavily English-speaking country these days. And because of that, there's always been, like, clips or a few episodes floating around the internet of most of these dubs, but rarely have we had them in their entirety available. And someone in Malaysia just found out through people online talking that the Wizard dub was considered lost media in the West, and they were just like, oh, I have the whole thing. Here, it's on Google Drive now. Which is awesome. I have seen the first 10 episodes of the dub back when OZC was putting it out, and, like, it's nothing special. It's very much just an anime dub, but I liked it. None of the voices offended me. And if you're somebody who just cannot stand subtitles, but you want to watch Kamen Rider, it's a perfectly serviceable way to watch Wizard, I think.
Yeah, and this is the second complete dub series we fully have on the internet. The other one is Kabuto, which is, like, actually part of the reason how I discovered the Kamen Rider initially, through the Kabuto dub.
Yeah, that infamous compilation of clips. This is Japan, not Afghanistan.
Wait, is that... And I keep forgetting that's an actual thing. And actually, the only clip I, like, looked up in recent memory was the Kagami clip, and they butchered it so hard. It doesn't have the same impact as "My Friend Kagami" in the subtitle.
There was some compilation, like, it might still be up, I don't know, but it was literally called Japan Not Afghanistan, and in, like, whatever year the compilation was uploaded was in the title.
Very interesting.
But yeah, if you want to watch the Wizard dub, or you're at least kind of curious about how these things tend to come out, definitely check this out. We'll have a link in the video description, as well as all the other news links. And now let's get on to some Revice news. The stage play forms for the final stage show have been revealed. We have True Rex Shin Revice, and we have Kamen Rider Vade, who the latter rider there is the actual villain of the stage play, and True Rex is basically I haven't read full details, but I'm guessing the plot of the stage play is, how's Iki gonna get his powers back and fight Vade? And that's kind of the resolution of that, is True Rex becomes a thing. And these are repaints of Thunder Gale and Jack Revice, and they both look great.
Man, like, what the Toei stage show team is just like, I'm gonna make the best repaints ever. Give them a raise.
Like,
And make them
Kamen
work the
Rider,
actual show.
like Vade legitimately looks like that original villain that they're hyping up for the 01 comic, but good.
I'm one of the rare people who like Ragnarok.
I mean, it's okay. It's just like this looks more like a Kamen Rider to me, and kind of rocks my socks off.
Well, that's because it actually is a Kamen Rider, you fool. It's made by the actual companies.
Exactly.
Yeah. The real standout here is, no, I don't hate Thundergale, but it's not an ideal suit. This is way better than Thundergale. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I hate Thundergale is a cool sculpt. I hate the colors on it.
Yeah, the colors was like my main issue too, and like this would have worked way better thematically, in like as Thundergale. Like, just man, it's such a cool. It's just the parts from Vice's Jack Revice form and like the base form, just with extra spikes, is just solid stuff.
It's very good, and it's actually kind of unfortunate that we may never see these in any actual Kamen Rider media, because I'm pretty sure when Iki shows up in
our media.
I mean, well, you know what I mean. They're not going to be in like anything that's made for. They're not going to be in a movie or a streaming show.
Yeah, they're not going to pull a Kachidoki's and Getsu most likely.
That being said, though, I would love it if in Revice versus Geats, Iki just shows up and he's and it's like, wait, I thought you didn't have your powers anymore. Nah, this fucking shit happened in the stage show. Vice is back and we're True Rex now. And that's just his base form for the whole Versus movie.
Nice. Although actually, to get into a bit more, like, just a little tangent. From what I hear about how Kamen Rider suit works is that there's at minimum two suits made. There's the close-up suit for to close up, and then there's like the action suit. So you would have to make like another copy of this suit, because this is presumably just the stage suit. Like, you can only have one suit.
That's pretty. I think that's the practice in like most special effects productions.
Yeah, well, like, I just want to clarify for the audience.
Yeah. Now to move into some more unfortunate news. Yahoo News Japan, which is Yahoo News is a much bigger thing in Japan than it is anywhere else in the world, reported this week that Yui Asakura, who is the actress who portrayed Agelia in Revice, is basically claiming that there was sexual harassment on the Revice set. We're going to link to the full article down below, and you can read it with the help of Google Translate. But basically what she's saying is a lot of people were giving her and Sakura's actress male gaze looks during the set, and she rarely felt comfortable when she was around those people. Which is extremely unfortunate, because this is now the third show in a row we've heard something about this in relation to the Kamen Rider set. And last time it happened, it got so bad that Toei had to put out a press release basically saying it's not as bad as everybody says it is, but they're still going to do something about it. And the fact that this has now come out clearly says that they didn't do anything about it, or at least they didn't do what they should have done. And that's very unfortunate and annoying, and honestly kind of embarrassing as a fan of this franchise.
Very much so. And actually, I think the last times you were referring to, they were all related to Revice, so this just speaks on whoever is managing this specific production. I know it's like Toei General has mismanagement, but whoever's managing like Revice specifically is doing a really bad job.
But yeah, but it's also like, if it's been happening with Revice, you know it's been happening with earlier shows too, because while the creative team and the cast always change every year for Kamen Rider, the crew almost consistently stays the same. Like, the crew are full-on Toei employees proper. So if these people are doing this, it's probably that they've been around for a while and have been doing it and are just now getting exposed for it.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that Sakura's actress is underage, at least was underage by the time like Revice started, so and don't give me the like law of consent in Japan. It's still creepy. Yeah,
well, I don't want to get into that whole discussion because I have very complicated feelings on it, but regardless to say, this is very disgusting. to hear, and it's even more disgusting to hear that Yui's former agency, Libra, is suing her for making these remarks, because in these interviews, she's been kind of implying that she feels part of the reason she left her agency is because this happened, and she feels her agency didn't do enough to protect her. And the agency, in response to this, is suing her for defamation and is throwing out all kinds of accusations back in her direction, basically saying that the stalking case we heard about a few weeks ago was actually a misunderstanding with a DoorDash employee, which sounds very, very unlikely given what she said, and that she consistently was calling in sick to set and asking for more money and basically just being difficult to work with, which to me sounds like they're just going full tilt in the other direction to try and defamate her because of the very slight things she said against them. And while this is upsetting to hear and might come as a shock to some, just knowing what I know of things like anime and pop idols, this is actually kind of common in Japan. Japan is a country that is so concerned with pleasantries and keeping everything very much on the level and agreeable, that the moment you step outside that kind of circle, you almost actually get canceled for it. Like what people claim being canceled is like in the West, it's that kind of actually happens to people sometimes, and it seems like that might be happening here, which is really unfortunate because Yui seems like a very nice young woman. I really enjoy her performance as a Galia, and if this keeps going the way it is, I would not be surprised if we don't see her back in Kamen Rider for like 10, 15 years.
Or ever.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say is like basically Japan, like they have they're very different from the U.S. Like drugs in Japan will get you like, oh, you're blacklisted immediately.
You can't have tattoos in Japan, pretty much. People just
Yeah.
assume you're a part of the Yakuza and treat you like a criminal.
Yeah, it's not great, and this stuff needs to change. We can't I know people love their status quo and but we need to it's okay to still buy Toei products, I guess, if you enjoy them, but you need to make your voice heard and make sure I do not like this. Stop doing this, you know? Or even they need to clean up their act. This is really embarrassing, especially because we've had multiple reports of Revice mismanagement, and I know it's mostly, but it it gets really bad when it gets out to the public, you know.
Yeah. I hope this clears up in a positive light for Yui in some way, but honestly, I'm not feeling too optimistic.
Unfortunately, I just hoping for the best, expecting the worst.
All right, well, let's move into some more positive news. First and foremost being that we're getting new B-Fighter Kabuto merch. There's going to be a complete edition of the Command Voicer and Insect Commander units, which, as I understand it, were the transformation and upgrade devices in B-Fighter Kabuto. I've not actually seen the show myself, nor Big Bad Beetleborgs.
Borgs?
Borgs.
Okay, good. Let me look up which, because these are for the ones they adapted into Metallic, the Beetleborg season 2, but those were completely different because they did a crossover special. I know.
Well, there's that, and also I think these are the ones that became the generals in Forever Red.
Yeah. Okay. B-Fighter Kabuto. The one I was thinking of was Juko B-Fighter. Anyway, but yeah, it's really cool to see this. It makes sense because we just got B-Fighter, Juko B-Fighter merch, so it's continue making things,
Continue the Metal Heroes nostalgia merch. Where's my SH Figuarts Kabutak?
That would be really cool.
I like how you took that seriously. When
legit, it would be cool.
Yeah, it would. But I think you and I are the only people who would think that. Other people would be like, oh, they're going to lose so much money on that. Because in the West, just there are so many people that think Kabuto is the dumbest thing ever. Or Kabutak, sorry.
Screw them either way.
But yeah, this looks cool. This looks fun. I'm not going to be picking it up myself just because, again, I haven't seen Beat Fighter Kabuto nor Big Bad Beetleborgs. But for the people who want it, I'm glad it's happening. And it's going to be, hang on, I'm just going to Google real quick. It's going to be $122 through Premium Bandai, releasing in February of this article says 2022, but that can't be right. It's got to be February of next year.
Yeah.
So
this type time is
yeah.
bendable and all that crap.
Yeah, so if you want that, go ahead and pick it up. I won't stop you, but what I might stop you from picking up is more MMPR merch.
Yeah, this is lame. What we're about to.
I'm just gonna rush through this real quick. Diamond Select Toys announced that they are going to have an NYCC or New York Comic Con, for those of you who don't speak acronym, exclusive box set of Minimates based on MMPR the movie with an actual DVD of MMPR the movie, and the box is going to be styled like a VHS.
This makes no sense, and it looks ugly. And why does it look like if it's being a packaging of the movie, why is the cover referencing the Shout Factory Season 3?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't like it. Anyways, let's talk about something fucking awesome.
Yeah!
So I'm just gonna say it. Fucking Lightning Collection Zord Ascension Project Astro Megaship is confirmed, baby.
You go first.
So I think it's not an unpopular thing to say that this is the best Megazord of all time. This is a lot of people's favorite Megazord. It depends on the day, but sometimes this is my favorite Megazord, and I have wanted the original toy for years and years and never had the courage to save up for it. So this is like a perfect option for me. And if you guys are wondering why they just randomly dropped this on a weekend, they didn't intend to. This was probably going to be a Pulsecon reveal, but somebody accidentally added the press photos to the Dropbox that they link all the fan sites to for press releases. And the UK-based Facebook group Ranger Chamber just went oh, so I guess this is happening, and posted all the pictures on Facebook. And then on was it last night?
I think it was last night.
Yeah, last night Hasbro was just fuck it, here's a press release. We're not gonna try and act like this is a big reveal at Pulsecon. We're just gonna go with the flow here.
It kind of sucks because this would have been an amazing pop-off moment at Pulsecon.
Yeah. This was probably meant to be the denouement of the reveals at Pulsecon.
Yeah, the grand finale. So that kind of sucks.
It would have been so epic, but I'm still interested because there's so many cool little details we can see just from the pictures. Yeah. I'm really interested to see what the designers have to say about this, as well as hearing the price point. I need to conserve money and spend money on some IRL shit for the rest of the year. This is probably not coming out till next summer. And because of that, money is no object. I do not give a damn how much this thing costs. I am getting one, and if Database Ranger doesn't buy one for himself, I'm getting him one.
I'll be honest, I'm more of a Mega Voyager guy, but this is still really cool. I really like this. Really like this a lot. And also, that basically means Delta. I prefer the Delta Megazord, and that's coming soon. Basically,
yeah, Josh said on Lightning Collection this weekend that he had heard rumblings of this thing before, as well as the fact that they would be doing something to go with it. And what goes with the Astro Megaship? The fucking Delta Megaship and Delta Megaship.
Gatling guns!
Yeah, I would have to get both. I would definitely have to get both. But this thing just looks so good. It's got all the articulation you wish the original toy had. It's got interchangeable hands. It's got all this great sculpted detailing that might not have been there on the original version, but actually looks appropriate here as opposed to on the Dino Megazord. It's got the opening cockpits, and not just one, but two. It looks like they don't show it in the images, but if you look at the head in one of the up-close shots, you can see there's a hinge on the shuttle. So the shuttle's probably going to open and have a detailed cockpit. And this thing is going to be 14.5 inches tall, which, if you don't know, is a full head and shoulders taller than the Dino Megazord they put out. And a lot of people were really upset by that. But then somebody went on the wiki and went, No, that's show accurate. The Astro Megaship is taller. Like the Dino Megazord is actually one of the shorter Megazords in canon. And then I went and got my tape measure and realized this thing is going to be as tall as Don Oni-Tajin.
Oh, that would be a really cool pose.
Yeah. So I am super hyped for this thing. I can't wait to get it. It'll, like, this is the fuck it. I'm gonna say this. This is the most excited I have ever been by a Hasbro Power Rangers review.
Yeah, this is honestly this is what people wanted when they bought the brand. Honestly, it took some time because they can't resell the Bandai stuff, so they got to make their own versions of the Bandai shit. I think we're finally getting to a really a creative point for both the TV show and the toys.
Yeah.
Because we're kind of there's less MMPR stuff. We're expanding more. The TV show is being very interesting. We might get more news about that Pulsecon. Speaking of Pulsecon,
yeah, we do have the full Pulsecon schedule as well. I think this dropped Thursday, Friday-ish.
Yeah.
And it's we already kind of knew a lot of this, but just in case people aren't aware, I'm going to go ahead and just say the full rundown. Friday, September 30th, it starts at 11 a.m. Eastern Time with a pre-show. Then at 1 p.m., the live stream proper starts. At 1:15, there is going to be the Transformers brand panel. Then we get the Power Rangers brand panel an hour after that. Then at 3 o'clock, starting lineup, Free 20, Fortnite, Free 45, Marvel Legends, and then the exclusives will be going up for premium members at 5 o'clock and everyone else at 6. Day 2, Saturday, October 1st, the live stream will be starting at 1 p.m. With a G.I. Joe brand panel at 1:15, Avalon Hill brand panel at 2:15, 3 o'clock, Magic the Gathering brand panel, 3:30, Indiana Jones brand panel, and the event will close with a 3:45 Hasbro panel on Star Wars offerings.
It's Star Wars trademark offering.
Yeah, you know that's Disney lawyers.
Yeah, Disney be like, yeah.
And then just like the day before at 5 o'clock, the exclusives will be going up for a second round for premium members, and then at 6 o'clock, everyone else will have access to them. I think this is a pretty exciting lineup. It's a little front-loaded as far as stuff I'm interested in goes, but I'm definitely excited for it. I'm going to be on all day, both days, live tweeting about the show, because I am not just a Power Rangers fan. I am a toy fan in general, and despite some of the scummier things they do sometimes, Hasbro is my favorite toy company, and I'm interested in everything they're doing.
They're your Nintendo.
Kinda, yeah. I'm looking forward to the event, and I hope everyone will act somewhat civil about it in both the chat and on social media, but I do know better than that.
I will hopefully I kind of want to get Vac and be on a VC. I'm not sure if he'll stream it, but just to vibe about it, So he can tell me all the important things that I miss.
Unless I wake up and I'm just really annoyed right off the bat by something, I'll probably be down for that.
Yeah.
But that is our penultimate story, and our final story is something that's a bit annoying, which is that IO9 has put out an article on the Selfie series, which is actually going to be launching on the first day of Pulsecon, September 30th, with some updated details about it. We now know exactly how long they are estimating it will take for you to get your item after it, which, if I can just check, it could take up to 60 days for you to receive your Selfie series figure. But that's not the biggest news out of this. The big news is that the initial price that they announced of $60 has increased. These are going to be $80 a piece, which I try to be generally positive and optimistic about Hasbro, but I'm just going to go ahead and say this. Of all the price increases they've announced over the last couple over the last like year or so. This is the most annoying for me because I went on a whole rant about the price point of the selfie series when we first found out about the $60, saying like everybody was being too harsh. I thought $60 was really fair for a one of a kind item from a big company like Hasbro. I don't think that about $80. 70 you'd be pushing me, but I'd still accept it. 80, that is what I would expect to pay a customizer to make me a head by hand. Paying that to Hasbro seems pretty steep in my opinion.
Like, I kind of expected this because all the other Hasbro products are going up, but like, I don't have to like it.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same place where it's like it does make sense because everything has been increasing over the last year with the shipping shipping price increases, and the fact that plastic itself has gone up in price this year. But it's just really annoying, and it's going to put a lot of people who were planning to get a selfie series off of the concept now. Honestly, like I was thinking as soon as I had my computer built, if I had some money left over, I would go ahead and get myself a selfie series. I don't know if I'm going to do that now. That might have to wait till after the holidays.
Yeah, or if these things get a price downgrade, because I can see them getting a price downgrade because I don't think this is a really like marketable idea at this price point.
Yeah, and also God, they need to increase the body selection.
Yeah, just at least a blue Power Ranger, at least blue.
And also just like some more casual looking civilian bodies. Like,
why not?
Would it kill you to offer the Marvel Legends suit body?
I don't know.
That's all I'm saying, man.
Anyway, that
is all the news that's fit to print.
I would say the last like section of this podcast just turned into the Hasbro cast.
the Hasbro cast, where me and Cody just sit around and talk about Transformers for 4 hours a week.
Basically. But we'll get into the actual twitting of this Twit podcast. With Ultraman Decker, episode 11, Machine Gun, deployed!
This was another great episode.
Yeah, I like it a lot. We get some. I think this is like the last focus episode. For like the last focus episode, we need to like, okay, everyone has gotten a focus episode in this cast. Good. And it's like on the cool tech guy, and he just kind of vibing. You know, he's like, and he has like so like much like the rival character episode, which I know you and Tim did not like, but I liked it. A lot actually. But like it's kind of like shows the character of the week, or like the focus episode character in Kanata's differing philosophies and how that kind of conflicts and like how they come to like an agreement. And I think that's very interesting.
Yeah, and I actually really like this guy, like almost more than Kanata because of the way he's portrayed in this episode, because he's kind of just George without the childhood trauma.
Yeah, very much so. Like, I already kind of, like, got hints of him, like, early in the episode. I remember, I think it was, like, the episode where they deployed the jet for the first time, around episode 2 or 3. We already got, like, bits of characterization for him, and this episode expands on that.
Mm-hmm. Very much that he's just, like, a really determined guy who really believes in them making more and more advanced stuff to take on the monsters themselves, and they kind of play around with that in a very fun way, and the way the action is kind of done in this episode, because we get human-sized Trigger, which I don't care how many times they god damn it, I can't stop doing that. We get human-sized Decker in this episode, and I don't care how many times they do that gag in an Ultra show, I'm always gonna fall for it. It's always hilarious to me
we
to see.
Had it since Zed.
Yeah, but like I feel like they do it at least every third show.
Yeah. Also, Trigger like had like the Giants of Darkness on the floor. Oh, you're right. They've been a lot more recently.
Yeah, but like seeing an Ultra just like be like, wait, I'm normal size. What the fuck? That's always cute. Entertaining to me. Yeah. And I love that they even played around with it in this episode by having the human characters try and communicate with him.
Yeah, it was really adorable. And like the machine god being deployed in this episode is really cool. And I like that Hajiro. It's basically a new body for Hajiro. So if you buy that toy, you're basically getting a big Hajiro.
Yeah, it's his Hulkbuster armor.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, it is very fun. I like how they kind of played around with the world a little more by giving us multiple monsters in one episode. Yeah. Was it just me, or did those birds really remind you of King Ghidorah?
They kind of, I mean, Tsuburaya and Godzilla, they kind of
Yeah.
You know,
And not in like a that's a ripoff kind of way, and like a that's fun. I
like
can see that
same design
similarity.
philosophy is
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
But no, I had a lot of fun with this episode, and Trigger's just plodding along at a good solid pace right now. Or Decker! God damn, I'm gonna have to get like one of those shock machines.
Just freaking like oh, man, I wish Trigger could be this good.
Decker good, I stupid.
We'll move on to Geats. Kamen Rider Geats, Episode 4, Encounter 3, Win Condition.
Kino.
Yeah, Kino. Yeah, very Kino. Man, I feel really sorry for Neon. I actually want to give a content warning because I feel like some of the imagery in this episode could be negatively affecting to some viewers.
Possibly, but I did enjoy it all. The only problem is I enjoyed it more when I saw it the first time in Carol and Tuesday, because Neon is literally just Tuesday.
Well, I mean, it's a trope, but like they play around with it good here, you know.
And like, I mean, like Tuesday's mom wasn't physically abusive, but when that happened, man, I legit was shocked for like a full minute.
I already got spoiled on it on social media, so it's like, but like,
okay.
But it was still like pretty like whoa, they went there, you know?
Because it comes right the fuck out of nowhere. Which is kind of appropriate because that's the way it feels if you're a kid who's being abused.
Yeah.
I mean, man, like I really enjoyed how they kind of portrayed Neon in this episode of like, my life is shit. I hate my life. I just want to get away from it and be happier. And I'm determined to do whatever it takes for that to happen. And until then, I guess I'm gonna put up with this. But
yeah, that like
only
ending,
to
like
a point.
Yeah, that ending was really like powerful with like her being like, I gotta put up with it, like, but I can't accept it, you know?
Yeah.
And like also that fight with her, like basically the final fight of the episode. Oh, that was really well choreographed.
I forget who the action director for Geats
I
is,
put him
but they
on
are doing a phenomenal job.
Yeah, whoever, like, I know there's a different director, like, I'll gotta shout out this episode and the last episode specific director. Let me go find him, because I did put him on, I've been doing a Toku directors list on Twitter.
Oh, nice.
So it's like, you know, you've seen a couple tweets, and like...
Probably, yeah.
And like, let me find the... Okay, it's, the director for this episode is Terihaki Sugihara. This and last episode, he's been doing a really good job with, like, the action.
I recognize that name. What has he done before this?
He started with Reiwa Era. He did first episode 01. He did some episodes of Saber. Did the Janine episode in Revice.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I probably know him from seeing his name while looking at credits for 01. But such a good character episode. Like, man, we are eating so good with female writer portrayal these days. And I saw some people saying Neon is already better than Sakura. I don't know about that, but I did really like her in this episode.
Bro, give it. Whoa, calm down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, the recency bias is getting to your head.
Yeah. But no, she's great, and I actually kind of enjoyed Dapan in this episode.
Okay, here's my only complaint, because I feel like he should have gotten a bit more, like, he had so good, last episode he was so good, and here he was just okay. I mean, that last scene with him, when he's basically like, you've been eliminated, and he's like, well, screw you, I can't wait to see which of you die, and I'm still kind of wondering, okay, is he dead, or is he just, like, booted out? I'm still curious.
I have a theory. Because they didn't say he got killed, he was retired.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna pull Dragon Knight.
Oh. Or like he's more like Kabuto.
Well, I haven't seen Kabuto, fucker. He's fucking comatose in a pocket dimension somewhere. I don't know about the guys that we saw them die, but I think he's gonna come back at some point.
Definitely. Dapan is like, I feel like they put him like, he has so much like characterization already. It would be a waste not to like bring him back for like, as I keep speculating, there's gonna be multiple Desire Grand Prix throughout the series for like one of them. You know?
And there's also some fun interplay between Buffa and Geats this episode. God, I loved Geats fucking being like, the fucking tsundere of the episode. Like, it's not like I care about Neon or anything, Baka.
Yeah. And then like basically Buffa using Magnum and Geats using Zombie, like homosexual form switch. Forgot what I said.
I love that, like, nobody has assigned forms in this show. That's so fun.
Yeah, we have, like, of course, the marketable form, like, but, like, we don't really have, like, everyone basically switching around gears, and I love that so far. I hope this continues. Like,
yeah.
I hope it's not one of those, it's a really cool early thing, and it comes back at the end, but, like, in the middle, it's non-existent.
Yeah, no, Neon using Boost was amazing, and I think at this point, Boingo's Pants Theory is pretty much proven.
Use the pants!
The power of pants! It can't be underestimated.
Yeah,
everybody watch Gateway to Geats.
Yeah, very good show. Very entertaining. Geats by Geats episode review. Way better than us, I think.
But no, I liked that. Tycoon had a few fun moments, like
it was him getting a bit more competent.
Yeah, but it's interesting how, like, it subverted our expectations in a very fun way. Because remember, I was saying, like, oh, he has Boost now. He's going to use that next episode and kind of find his resolve. No, he finds his resolve in helping somebody else find theirs, which is such a cool, like, different thing for a Kamen Rider.
Yeah, and I think, like, Tycoon's already kind of, that makes sense for his character, like, where it's like, he wants to help people. He wants, so, like, will that lead to his possible downfall? Like, that's what I'm thinking. Like,
could be possible.
Yeah, where it's, like, basically, he, like, okay, here's a crazy crackpot theory I just came up with. What if Tycoon is the first arc, and he's the Christmas Death, and, like, he kind of, like, initiates change in the characters or something, you know?
That would be fucking amazing.
Because he's, like, our point of view character, because Tycoon's our point of view character, and it would be, like, whoa, if he got, like, I'm pretty sure he would come back later if the idea I'm pitching is true.
I could see that, like Geats throughout this first arc just keeps getting more and more, like, attached to him and going, like, this kid's got some good ideas, and he's got moxie, I like him. Yeah. And then, like, he tragically dies in the Christmas episode, and that causes Geats to actually become the main character and have kind of, like, find this new resolve of, like, oh, I haven't been taking things as seriously as I should have.
Yeah, and it's that I mean, like, again, this show presents so many opportunities, like, for, like, story development. It's crazy, and I'm really liking it so far. And, like, any show that gets me brain racking, even if it's not true, I like it.
Yeah. Should we comment on the change with Masked Man?
Whoa, there's a change?
Yeah, the mysterious masked man who's been at the end of every episode so far. He had a different mask this episode because apparently a lot of people on Japanese Twitter were saying that he looked like he was wearing a mask from Hellboy, and Toei got all embarrassed.
I'm not sure how far in production. I mean, I assume it's a green screen, so that can easily change. They can easily like swap out. It's like a short scene, so that can be easily reshot. Okay, I actually did not know that. Okay.
It's just like a funny, weird thing that happened.
Yeah, I just, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
but they might either, like, just make it like, we'll make it part of the story. There's multiple masked men running around now.
Yeah.
Either way. Speaking of multiple people running around. Dawn Brothers, episode 30, The Bestial Hunter. Oh my god, what the hell is happening?
You know what's happening. They're
DJI
doing the
Ranger feud!
They're doing the thing! Oh my god! It's happening!
Yeah, okay.
Everyone stay calm! Stay fucking calm! What's the procedure?
Okay, now, from the preview, I don't think it's happening right away, but they're building to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the fucking end reveal of this episode. There's a lot more to talk about with this episode. But, I saw that final scene, and I legitimately jumped out of my seat, and I went, in a way, you're finally getting off your ass and doing it. Thank you.
The chains have been unleashed. We've unshackled the chains.
I was low-key worried he was going to drag that shit out until the final arc.
Yeah, like, I expected it to be a 40s thing based on, like, how Agito and Faiz handled a lot of their stuff. But, like, okay, they really meant it when everything's unchained. We're in, like, everything's gonna get resolved, or, like, shit's hitting the fan. Basically, I feel like we haven't talked about what it actually is. Oh yeah, Inu brother, like, Tsubasa discovers, Natsumi is Miho, and dating Kiji.
Married
he's
to Kiji.
Married to Kiji at that, and is also probably a bestial.
And Kiji kind of finds out that she's a bestial. He's in denial about it, but he's told about it. And also, we get a ton of new information about how this world works, because the plot of this episode is that the fucking foot soldiers come to the Dawn Brothers and say, hey, the bestials are killing us. Can you please kill them for us?
Yeah, and I don't think we've seen the foot soldiers ever since like the early episodes. So it's kind of been like they kind of like, okay, we've backed off, we've made a truce with them.
And we also kind of learn that like the bestials are an artificial life form that was created by the Dawn Clan as an alternative energy source, because the Cerebrands, and I'm guessing this means like the Dawn Clan were Cerebrands, feed off of human brainwaves, and that might potentially be a bad thing. And we also find out that there's different classes of bestials. The ones we've been seeing that, like that detective and a bunch of people on that bus were made into, are cats. However, I forgot her name. Natsumi is a crane, and apparently there's a penguin class as well.
Yeah, it's getting crazy, man.
Yeah, and like,
oh wait, they're all like, the three main like Cerebrain like rangers, for lack of a better word. They're all based on like that. Like I think Sonoi's penguin, and the brown one is Sonosoi is
cat,
and then like lady is
I don't remember her name. It's okay.
Yeah, lady is the crane. So yeah, they're basically infused like Kamen Rider shit. They have the stuff the evil power is made of, and they're using it for good, quote unquote.
Yeah, because those two, because we don't see Sonoi yet, although he's probably coming back.
Yeah.
Those two go to Ino and are like, "Hey, we want to form an alliance to take out the bestials. Tell your teammates." And he's like, "I literally don't know who they are. How am I going to do that?"
Well,
yeah.
Next episode.
I also love that like there's multiple scenes of this episode of monsters just hanging out in Cafe Dambra, and everyone except for Haruka is totally cool about it.
Yeah. She's like the cool. I think we've joked about Inu being the most normal. Haruka's like second most normal.
Yeah, and I mean, like, she's also very reasonably freaking out because the foot soldiers kidnapped her aunt as a way of compelling the Dom Bros to do what they want.
Yeah, still got like a bit of like, oh, we'll help you, but we'll do it in our own evil way.
Yeah. But no, I really dug a lot about this episode. And I honestly found Haruka caring so much about her aunt being kidnapped a little bit funny, because I never got the sense that she super cared about her aunt before this episode.
Yeah, also they kind of play with it in a very comedic sense, where it's like, Oh
shit, I also forgot. They followed up on the plot thread about the guy Haruka was dating that wanted her to meet his mom. His mom is a fucking bestial.
Oh!
Presumably a cat class, and she might have eaten him?
Oh!
Like, what the hell, man?
Oh,
when Inoue said the chains were coming off, he was not kidding.
I mean, this is the best way possible. This feels like early 2000s Toku.
Mm-hmm.
Like, with like the whole like, oh yeah, there's implied effed up shenanigans happening.
It's so dense. There is so much going on in every scene that like
the whole show.
most of these episode recaps lately have just been me going, "Oh yeah," and then this fucking happened. What? In the best way possible.
Yeah, like, man, this guy, am I right? This Inoue guy.
I think it's all gonna depend on how the show ends, but right now I'm really enjoying Dom Bros, and I think it has the potential to go down in history as one of the best Sentais of all time.
Oh, it basically already is for me. Like, it's at least gonna be top 3. It's already beating Go Busters. Not sure about Jetman.
I mean, if it has a Fies ending, I would have to like seriously demote it, but we'll see.
Fies' ending was fine. Anyway,
I've not finished Fies myself, but I've read a synopsis of the ending, and it did not make me happy.
Okay, fair. It does kind of like from experience. Let's talk about another Inoue Kamen.
Yeah.
Speaking of Inoue Kamen Rider, let's move on to classic episodes because I watched Kamen Rider Kiva. It's not my favorite, but it's really good. Like, yeah, it has problems. You can, but like, a lot of them are, and like, if you don't like heterosexual romance, maybe stay away from this.
Yeah, I get the feeling, because Kiva is another one I haven't seen that I would like to at some point. I get the feeling Kiva is very much either you love it or you hate it show.
Okay, but like, here's something I don't get about the haters. I get like hating a lot of the tone and drama. Wataru is a really good protagonist. I don't get the hate for him because he basically is all of the Toku. Basically,
The
he's
main
a
thing I hear is a lot of people just hate love triangles on principle, and they feel like it's a really bad love triangle in this show.
Yeah, honestly, the love triangle doesn't even come to like the 30s, and for me, it's just basically like the actual love. That like at first, it's just here are people like, oh, will they get together? It's just two people, and then they kind of like throw like, okay, here's a triangle, and it's a fine. It's not amazing, but it's fine. It does feel like Inoue's probably most experimental writer show, and that's saying a lot. With how like the 1986 and 2008 like structure goes. He was always pushing the envelope of his head writing series, as we've been seeing. You know, Otoya like Wataru's dad is great. I like Ixa is super fun. I really like him. He's like really good secondary writer. And again, I really like Wataru. I thought his arc about breaking out was really good.
He has an arc about having acne?
No, you know what I mean.
I know, I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah. I legit I don't get fine. Hey Kiva, you're not touching my boy Wataru. He's a good boy. I don't
You're
get
allowed to hate Kiva, you're not allowed to hate Wataru.
Yeah, that's my thing because I really don't get why people passionately hate this dude. He's just vibing. He's not an aggressively annoying character, Kaf Takaharu, or he has self confidence issues, and we all do. And I feel like a protagonist with it's freaking he's the Kamen Rider equivalent of Shinji from Evangelion.
Wow, that's a statement.
Yeah, with misunderstood character with anxiety issues. Anyway, talk about classic stuff.
I watched 2 more episodes of Black RX. It's been a very hectic week, and I'm probably about to have another one, so I don't know how much RX I'm gonna actually get for before Black Sun drops, but I'm trying, people. I'm trying. And these were 2 really solid filler episodes that were kind of just more showing off of the new forms and being like, hey, buy our toys, but also we're telling a cool Monster of the Week story. Not a whole lot to write home about, but I enjoyed them. They weren't some of the more episodes of RX from early on. So yeah, that's good.
RX, this middle portion of RX, the best part of the show
so far.
Yeah,
I'm really excited for the ending because I know the ending is a big All Riders team.
Yeah, it's also apparently really sad. Yeah, I think that's all we have to discuss today.
Yeah, that's we got through that pretty quick. We're finally having quick episodes again.
Yeah, and all it took was Don Bear's going. Whoa.
So, Buster, why don't you go ahead and plug your shit?
Hi, I'm Buster Corp. Video is out today. There's a Kamen Rider Blade video out by the time you are seeing this. It's not out when we're recording, but it's out by the time you see this. It's a redux of my old video, but maybe I'm hoping to make up for that. I'm hoping to get the Hibiki review.
Hey, I'm looking forward to that because I liked your original Blade video a lot.
Okay, to be fair, I cut a lot of fat, but that's only to make it fit with the format.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, you can also find me on Twitter at BusterBlade3. I make the funnies making a PS5 mock-up game of Masters of Disguise if that's the kind of comedy you're into.
And I'm the Vacuuminator. I make tokusatsu video essays on YouTube. You can find them at youtube.com/thevacuuminator. Unfortunately, though, I can't actually make anything right now because my computer is kind of fucky-wucky to the point where all I can do is record podcasts and use a web browser. I can't actually edit anything, which is why Buster is editing the show right now. So in order to build a new computer before the holidays come to suck up all my money, I have a massive sales spread going on right now at the Vacuuminator on Twitter. I am selling a lot of Hasbro stuff, a little bit of NECA, but mostly it is stuff like Star Wars: The Black Series, GI Joe Classified Series, Transformers Generations, and Unicron Trilogy. I've also got some wrestling figures in there, just all kinds of stuff. Marvel Legends, I think I didn't say in that ramble, but all kinds of stuff. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, please go take a look. I feel like I'm offering reasonable prices. I'm trying to undercut eBay by about $5 on everything within reason. So please go give that a look. The cutoff for it is Friday night. Like literally after Pulsecon, I'm going to be like, sales spread is closed. I'm going to start packing things up. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that. But just because I'm getting rid of a bunch of stuff doesn't mean I'm done collecting or I don't still want to do action figure photography. I've actually got a large backlog of stuff, so if you want to check that out, please go follow me on Instagram at @the_vacuuminator. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all for this week in Toku. So thank you for joining us, everyone. I hope to see you back here next week whenever we discuss whatever happens that week in Tokusatsu, aka Pulsecon.